Hello students, welcome to Royal Palace online classes. Today let us discuss the synopsis part of motion in a plane. Motion in a plane starts with vectors. Detailed discussion of vectors are already given in our channel. So now let us discuss only projectile motion, oblique projectile. Oblique projectile. If a body is projected at an angle theta other than 90 with horizontal, that kind of body is called oblique projectile. And let us assume I projected a body with velocity u making an angle theta with the horizontal. If you resolve this into components, it will be u cos theta along x axis, u sin theta along y axis. This is coming from resolution of vectors. If a vector is present in a plane, assume that a vector A having magnitude, vector A bar having magnitude A is present in a plane. Along x axis it will be A cos theta, along y axis it will be A sin theta. How you will get this? You can draw one line here. This is along x axis, this is x component, this is y component. You can take this as Ax, you can take this as Ay. Cos theta is equal to Ax by A, then Ax is equal to A cos theta. That means along x axis you will get u cos theta, and sin theta is equal to Ay by A, that you will get as A sin theta. That is why this is u sin theta, u cos theta. So this body moves in a plane, means it covers both x and y. At time t is equal to 0, it is at origin. After some time, let us take after 1 second, or it will be here. After some time, the body will be here, and after some time body reaches here. Body covers x, it covers y. If you observe the coordinates of a graph paper, it is 0, 0. If a body is present here, it will have both x, y. It will have both x, either 2, 3 or 3, 4, like that. It has both x and y. Now finally the body reaches ground. Finally the body reaches ground. So on reaching ground, its coordinates we can take r, 0, where r is called horizontal range. Maximum value of x, we call it as horizontal range. Example for projectiles is football hit by one player to another player, a cricket ball thrown from one player to another player. So here one player is there, he is throwing the ball and another player is catching. These are all the examples of projectile motion. The projectile motion can be split into two parts. If for easy understanding and for easy solving of problems, the projectile motion can be split into two parts. One is motion along x axis, it moves along horizontal direction. One is motion along y axis. So the vector which I projected with velocity u, I can write it as u bar is equal to u cos theta along x axis plus u sin theta along y axis. U cos theta I cap, u sin theta j cap. This is the vector which I given. After some time, the body will get final velocity. Let us take a body is here, it will get final velocity. Let us take, this is the velocity direction. This final velocity will also have two components. This will be Vy, this will be Vx. And displacement also, the position of the body also, at time t is equal to 0, body is here. After some time body reached here. So this is the displacement of the body. So displacement of the body also has two components. One is distance along x, distance along y. It moves forward as well as moves upwards. That is the difference between, if you take vertically projected body, it moves vertically upwards. If you take a horizontal motion in straight line, body moves along x only. Body moves along the x. Suppose if you make a ball to roll on the ground, if you make a ball to roll on the ground, it is taking only x axis. If you make a ball to move in air in forward direction, if you throw a ball like this, that is an example for oblique projectile. Any body that is projected at an angle theta other than 90 with horizontal is called projectile, or any body which is projected at an angle theta other than 0 with vertical is called oblique projectile. That is the definition of projectile. The projectile which I have chosen, I have given a velocity u making an angle theta with the horizontal, like that a shot put throw. Now this velocity I can resolve into two components. This is u, this will be u cos theta, this will be u sin theta. And acceleration, if I take, is there any acceleration on this body, or if it is there, in which direction it is present, that we can see here. See, the body is moving in air. Every body which is in air, according to Newton, it experiences gravitational force downwards. But I am not giving any acceleration in horizontal direction. In horizontal direction, it is moving with uniform velocity u cos theta. In acceleration here is 0 along x axis. It is directed downwards, minus g along y axis. Okay. Next, if I consider the displacement, now we know initial velocity and acceleration. Now our thing is we have to find the displacements along x axis and y axis. Let us find the displacements along x axis, velocities along x axis as well as y axis. If you split this projectile motion into two parts, along x and along y, and if you find the position of this body after some time t, and if you find the velocity of the body after some time t, then you can solve any kind of question that is asked in projectile motion from CET level to IIT level. The thing is, first by using three equations of motion we can find this. First equation along x axis I will take Vx is equal to, where Vx is the final velocity along x axis, Vx is equal to ux plus axt. Here why I am writing Vx is, its velocity is also having two components. Here everything is two dimensional. That is why this kinematics is also called 2D kinematics, two dimensional motion. See, velocity is having two components, acceleration is having two components, in which one of the component is 0, and displacement is also having two components. At a time t is equal to 0, body is at 0, 0. After some time, body is maybe at 2, 3. 2, 3 means it has travelled 2 meters along x axis, 3 meters along y axis. So Vx is equal to ux plus axt. Now let us take the x component of the velocity which you have given. I have given a velocity u, that is that component which is acting along x axis u cos theta. Vx is equal to u cos theta. What is the acceleration along x axis? There is no acceleration along x axis, so u cos theta plus 0. So velocity along x axis after some time t is u cos theta only, velocity is not changing. That means body is moving with uniform velocity since acceleration is 0. There is no acceleration in x axis. Now let us calculate the velocity along y axis. What is its velocity along y axis? Here what we have to find in oblique motion is its velocity, its displacement. That only, based on that only they will ask questions. Next, Vy is equal to, I can write uy plus ayt. That means vertical component of final velocity is equal to vertical component of initial velocity plus vertical component of acceleration into time. So this I can write Vy is equal to Vy is equal to, what is the velocity in y axis? So I have given a velocity u, this is acting as u cos theta in this direction, this is u sin theta in this direction, so this is nothing but u sin theta. And if you see the acceleration, here, acceleration acting is minus g, so therefore you can write u sin theta minus gd, u sin theta minus gd. And the vertical motion I have taken as j cap here. You can take k also, for easy understanding I took it as j. So now we got horizontal component and vertical component of velocity. So we can write the velocity vector here. Velocity vector is equal to v bar is equal to, this is the initial velocity which I have given. After some time, what is the velocity is v bar is equal to u cos theta along x axis, vector representing along x axis I can take I, plus u sin theta minus gt j. With this, what we can understand, as time progresses, if I increase time, at time t is equal to 0, velocity was u sin theta. If time increases, this value increase and vy value will decrease. That means there is a possibility so that it may become 0. So at what time it becomes 0, that you have to understand in the diagram here. So it goes on in this direction, and finally here if you observe the direction of velocity here, it is totally horizontal. At maximum height, after reaching maximum vertical height, what happens? Its velocity becomes totally horizontal. That means its velocity becomes 0 at maximum height. Which velocity becomes 0? Only vertical component of velocity becomes 0. This is very important question. What is the velocity of projectile at maximum height? It is u cos theta. It is not equal to 0. Velocity of vertically projected body at maximum height is 0. So this you can take 0, then this you will get the time taken to reach the maximum height. See, the body which is projected in air, it is changing its direction. You can observe here, it is changing in direction. When the body changes its direction of motion is, its velocity becomes opposite to the initial velocity. Initial velocity I given like this. After some time, up to here the velocity is in the direction of initial velocity only. But here what happens? It changes. If you observe a vertically projected body, it moves upwards, and after reaching 0 it comes back, because here acceleration is acting opposite to the velocity. Here acceleration is acting opposite to the vertical component of velocity, therefore it comes back. From this you can calculate time of ascent. Time of ascent is equal to u sin theta by g. U sin theta by g. Time taken to reach maximum height. The time taken by a projectile to reach its maximum height in its path is called time of ascent. Time of ascent you got u sin theta by g. Next case, we can find the displacement along x axis. Displacement along x axis, Sx is equal to, or you can take this as x is equal to ux into t plus half ax t square. Okay, this you can apply. What is the ux value in x axis? It is u cos theta only, so you will write it as u cos theta into time taken, because remaining will be 0. This is the position of the body in x axis after some time. It is the position of the body in x axis after some time. At time t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. That means it is present at the origin. After some time, the body is moving in x axis. This is the equation for finding its position in x axis. And next you can find in y axis also. How can we find in y axis? Y is equal to uyt plus half ayt square, that is y is equal to Here what is the initial velocity in y axis? It is u sin theta. So u sin theta into t, u sin theta into t. And what is the value of acceleration in y axis? Acceleration in y axis minus g, that is minus half gd square. That means from this what you can understand, from these 2 points you can understand here. One is after some time, this is the displacement in x, this is displacement in y, okay, this is one thing. And for one value of y at two different times, body will be in the same horizontal level for same height, because this you can convert into a quadratic equation, this you can convert into a quadratic equation just like what we discussed in vertically projected body. For same height, for same value of y, the body reaches two times, after one time t1, another time t2, because this is having two roots. This you can convert into quadratic equation, it is having two roots. Therefore, for same vertical height, the body will be at reaching the same vertical height, it reaches two times. At two different times, body will be at same vertical height. That is the meaning. Now next, displacement also we got an equation for the displacement. Displacement equation will be s bar is equal to u cos theta into t I cap plus u sin theta into t minus half gd square j cap. That means its displacement along x and y. Now here also we can observe y decreases with time, y increases for certain time, y is positive for certain time, afterwards it is negative and finally reaches 0. Y becomes 0, then body reaches ground, because y is the displacement in vertical axis. When y becomes 0, body will be on ground. Body is on ground means it has completed its motion. When body reaches ground, when it completes its motion, and time taken to reach ground, or the time for which the body is in air, or the time taken to reach same plane of projection is called as time of flight. So if y is equal to 0, time is equal to time of flight. If y is equal to 0, when y becomes 0, body reaches ground here, you can observe here. So for to take y is equal to 0, then you can find the time of flight. Time taken is called time of flight, and that is equal to half g t square. If you solve this, you will get t is equal to 2u sin theta by g. T is equal to 2u sin theta by g. This is the formula of time of flight. Time of ascent is u sin theta by g, time of flight is 2u sin theta by g. From this we can write time of descent is equal to u sin theta by g, and we can prove that time of ascent is equal to time of descent if the what we can say air friction is neglected. If air friction is neglected, then this is the time of ascent is equal to time of descent. Next, again when you come for x value, if you observe, x value increases with time, it will never decrease. X always increases with time. X is maximum when time is maximum, and maximum value of x is called range, that is equal to u cos theta into 2u sin theta by g. X is equal to range when time is equal to time of flight. So this can be written as u square sin 2 theta by g, because 2u sin theta cos theta, 2 sin theta cos theta can be written as sin 2 theta, that is r is equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. Then range is equal to u square sin 2 theta by g, and range will be maximum. Range will be maximum when sin 2 theta is equal to 1, then 2 theta is equal to 90, then r max is equal to u square by g. Next equation we can use in y axis. In y axis we can use one more equation. that is v square minus u square is equal to 2as in y axis. This equation we can't use in x axis because vx and vx and ux are same. So therefore v square minus u square is equal to 2as here. If you apply this, vy square minus uy square is equal to 2 into ay into y. So this is the equation which you can use here. At maximum height, already we discussed, at maximum height vertical velocity becomes 0. So 0 square minus u square sine square theta is equal to 2 minus 2g h max. From this you can write h max is equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. H max is equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. So these are the equations what we will get by applying the formulas, what we will get by applying in x axis and y axis. Now we can find the equation of its motion. What is the equation of its motion? By taking the values of x and y, we can prove that the trajectory of the projectile is a parabola, that is x is equal to u cos theta into t, whereas y is equal to, from this I can write t is equal to x by u cos theta. Similarly you can take y is equal to u sin theta into t minus half gt square, that is u sin theta. Substitute the value of t here, x by u cos theta minus half g into x square by u square cos square theta. So u cos theta, sorry, u and u will get cancelled. Sin theta by cos theta will be, this can be done as tan theta x minus gx square by 2u square cos square theta. 2u square cos square theta. So in this equation tan theta is constant, g by 2u square cos square theta is also constant. Therefore this can be done as ax minus bx square ax minus bx square, and this is the equation of a parabola. So from that we can say that the trajectory of the projectile is a parabola. Trajectory of a projectile is parabola. And now there are some points to be discussed based on these formulas. The thing is, if you observe the formulas of x axis and y axis, you will come to one inference. If you observe the x axis, it is nothing but a body moving with uniform velocity of u cos theta along x axis. It is uniform velocity formulas, all these things, because u cos theta into t directly got. If you observe this formula, v is equal to u minus gt, and time of ascent is equal to u by g, time of descent is equal to u by g, and h is equal to ut minus half at square, time of flight 2u by g, h max u square by 2g. You will remember the similarities between the equations of vertically projected body. If you replace u with u sin theta, you will get all the formulas of vertically projected body in y axis. So therefore the projectile motion can be defined as a body moving with uniform velocity of u cos theta along x axis and a vertically projected body of u sin theta along y axis. So this is the splitting of projectile motion in both x and y. Now you can see that range is same, r is same for two values of theta. One is theta and 90 minus theta. Suppose if I projected two bodies at an angle theta and 90 minus theta, I can achieve same range but different maximum height. This you take h1, maximum height for second journey you take h2. we will get same range and different maximum heights. The range will be same for theta and 90 minus theta, that you can prove. Let us take this as R1, this as R2. R1 is equal to R2, you can prove. That is R1 is u square sin 2 theta by g. R2 is u square sin 2 into 90 minus theta by g. So this you will get u square sin 2 theta by g, that is equal to u square sin 180 minus 2 theta will be again sin 2 theta by g. So range is same for theta and 90 minus theta, but maximum heights are different. Maximum heights are different. Maximum height h1 will be equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. Maximum height h2 will be equal to u square sin 90 minus theta whole square, that is cos square theta by 2g. And if you add these two, you will get u square by 2g, because cos square theta sin square theta you can take common. Suppose if you take 4 root of h1 h2, you will get a range. If you take 4 root of h1 h2, multiply h1 and h2, take root of h1 h2, you take root of h1 h2 now. Root of h1 u square sin square theta by 2g into u square cos square theta by 2g. Now take root for this. So u square into u square is u power 4. If you take outside, this will become u square. Sin square theta, if you take outside of the root, it will become sin theta. And cos square theta, if you take outside of the root, it become cos theta. Okay. Now divided by 2g square, if you take outside of the root, it will become 2g. So this is the value of root. For this you multiply with 4. Multiply with 4. If you multiply with 4, it will become 2u square sin theta cos theta by 2g by g. This you can write u square into 2 sin theta cos theta by g. 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta, therefore u square sin 2 theta by g. This is the formula for range. So range is equal to, you can write 4 root h1 h2, 4 root h1 h2. Similarly, you can find time of flight also. Time of flight also you can find, and this is the relationship between range and height. This is one of the case what we can see by using range. Still many cases are there in projectile, that we will discuss in the next session. Thank you everyone for joining me.